On Stoic albums, we talk about the truths people ignore, and today's truth hits harder than ever. There's a certain type of woman, a woman who doesn't chase, doesn't beg, doesn't fold. A woman who walks into a room, and suddenly every man becomes silent, careful, and a little bit scared. Why? Because all men get bossed by her. Not because she tries to dominate them, but because her energy does it for her. Let's begin. Point number 1. Her silence is stronger than most men's words. There is something special about a woman whose silence carries more power than other people's loud voices. Most people misunderstand silence. They think it means weakness, shyness, or insecurity. But for her, silence is strength. Silence is confidence. Silence is control. And this is exactly why so many men get bossed by her without her even trying. When she walks into a room, she doesn't need to speak loudly or demand attention. Her presence already speaks for her. People feel her energy before she even opens her mouth. And men, especially those who rely on loudness and ego, start to feel unsure around her. They feel pressured to act better, talk nicer, and control their behavior. Not because she asked them to, but because her silence forces them to. She listens more than she talks. And that makes men nervous because they can't read what she's thinking. They can't predict her. They can't control the situation. Most people use words as weapons, but she uses silence. Her silence makes men reveal their true personalities. When a man talks too much, shows off too much, or tries too hard to impress, she notices it instantly. And when she doesn't react, when she doesn't give them validation, those men begin to feel embarrassed or exposed. Her silence also shows emotional maturity. She doesn't waste her time arguing, complaining, or proving herself. She already knows her value. She already knows her worth. And this scares insecure men, because insecure men need someone to argue with. They need someone they can control emotionally. But she never gives them that chance. She is calm, and that calmness kills their manipulation. Men who are used to controlling women with words find themselves powerless when she simply doesn't respond. A manipulator's biggest fear is someone who doesn't react. And she is exactly that. She doesn't respond to drama. She doesn't respond to disrespect. She doesn't respond to games. She watches quietly, and when she sees something she doesn't like, she walks away, quietly, without drama, without explanation. That is why men respect her so much. She doesn't need to shout to show strength. She doesn't need to argue to prove a point. She doesn't need to act tough. Her silence already shows she is in control of herself. And a person who controls their own emotions automatically controls the room. Another reason her silence is powerful is because she chooses her words carefully. When she speaks, it matters. When she gives advice, people listen. When she expresses her boundaries, men take them seriously. Because her words are rare, and rare things hold value. She doesn't waste energy on meaningless conversations. So every time she talks, her voice sounds important. Men get bossed by her because her silence tells them two things. First, she is not impressed by childish behavior. Second, she will not tolerate disrespect. A woman who is quiet, confident, and emotionally disciplined becomes a woman no man can easily control. And the more men try to dominate her, the more they realize they cannot. Not because she fights back, but because she doesn't play their game at all. Her silence is her shield. Her silence is her strength. And her silence is the reason all men get bossed by her, without her even saying a single word. Point number 2. She doesn't need anyone. One of the biggest reasons all men get bossed by her is simple. She doesn't need anyone. And a woman who doesn't need anyone becomes one of the most powerful people in any room. This kind of woman is rare, because most people depend on others for attention, validation, love, or emotional support. But she is different. She is complete on her own. She has built herself in a way that no man can break her, control her, or limit her. She doesn't wait for someone to save her. She saves herself. She doesn't expect someone to fix her problems. She fixes them alone. She doesn't look for someone to complete her life. Her life is already full. Men feel this independence instantly. At first, they get confused, because they're used to women who need constant attention or reassurance. But she doesn't ask for that. She doesn't beg for replies. She doesn't chase love. And she doesn't cry for someone to stay. If a man wants to leave, she opens the door. If someone wants to play games, she walks away. If someone tries to manipulate her, she doesn't fall for it. Her emotional independence is her superpower. She can be alone without feeling lonely. She can sit in silence without feeling uncomfortable. She can enjoy her own company, and that scares men who rely on control. A woman who isn't afraid to be alone is a woman no one can ever control. Another important thing is her financial independence. She doesn't depend on a man's money. She works hard, she earns, she takes care of herself. And when a woman is financially strong, she becomes mentally strong too. Men can't use money to keep her. They can't use gifts to manipulate her. They can't use financial pressure to control her decisions. She is her own provider, and men respect that more than they admit. She also has strong boundaries. She knows what she wants, and she knows what she will not accept. She doesn't tolerate disrespect, selfishness, lies, or emotional games. When something feels wrong, she cuts it off. Not slowly, not after giving 100 chances. She walks away the moment she feels undervalued. And this teaches men that if they want to stay in her life, they must behave right. A woman who doesn't need anyone doesn't chase love. She attracts it. She doesn't try to impress men. Men try to impress her. She doesn't change herself to be liked. People change their behavior around her. Men automatically become more careful, more respectful, and more honest when dealing with her. Not because she demands it, but because she inspires it. Men get bossed by her because they realize something powerful. They can't control her with affection. They can't control her with attention. They can't control her with money. They can't control her with fear. She is too complete, too secure, and too self-reliant to be controlled by anyone. She chooses people not because she needs them, but because she values genuine connection. And that makes her rare. That makes her strong. And that is why all men get bossed by her, because she doesn't need them, but they know they need her. Point number 3. She sees through fake confidence. One of the strongest reasons all men get bossed by her is this. She can see through fake confidence instantly. Most men try to impress women by acting tough, talking loudly, or pretending to be something they're not. They show confidence on the outside, but inside, many of them are insecure, confused, or unsure of themselves. And she can sense that in seconds. You cannot fool a woman who has strong intuition. You cannot pretend in front of a woman who understands emotions deeply. You cannot trick a woman who has already experienced life enough to recognize masks. She reads people not by what they say, but by how they behave. She reads energy, not excuses. She notices patterns, not promises. This is what makes men uncomfortable around her. Most men rely on surface-level charm. Good looks, nice words, bold acting, or fake confidence. But she is not attracted to surface-level things. She is attracted to truth, discipline, maturity, and self-control. So when a man tries to pretend, she sees it right away. She notices when someone is bragging just to hide insecurity. She notices when a man is trying too hard to look strong. She notices when his confidence is nothing but a mask. And she does not reward this behavior. She doesn't laugh fake laughs. She doesn't flatter men to make them feel important. She doesn't fall for sweet words that have no meaning. Her calm reaction exposes the truth, and that truth scares many men. Men who act confident suddenly feel small around her. Men who pretend to be alpha suddenly feel insecure. Men who brag suddenly feel embarrassed. Why? Because she has the type of presence that demands realness. You must be authentic if you want to stand in front of her. She won't accept fake strength. She won't accept a fake personality. She won't accept fake confidence. And men know this. This is why many men get nervous, careful, or quiet around her. They know she can see their weaknesses, even the ones they hide from the world. She reads body language, tone, reactions, and intentions. She understands when someone is lying. She can feel when someone is pretending. And she knows instantly when someone is not being real with her. The strongest men respect her because they understand that only insecure men fear being exposed. Real men don't get intimidated by her ability to see the truth. They admire it. But fake confident men? They can't handle it. They feel powerless around her because their usual tricks don't work. This is why she never gets manipulated. She knows when someone is acting different. She knows when someone's words don't match their actions. She knows when someone is trying to control her emotionally, and she shuts it down instantly with her clarity and calmness. A woman who sees through fake confidence becomes a woman who no man can lie to. She becomes someone no man can fool. She becomes someone men cannot manipulate, even if they try their hardest. And this is exactly why all men get bossed by her. She sees the truth. She exposes the lies. She destroys fake confidence simply by being real. Point number 4. Men respect what they can't control. One of the biggest reasons all men get bossed by her is very simple. Men respect what they cannot control. Human psychology works in a strange way. People don't value what comes too easily. They respect what is rare, difficult, disciplined, and mysterious. And she is all of those things. She is not predictable. She is not desperate. She is not easily influenced. She is not emotionally weak. This makes her stand out instantly. Most people move with emotions, get attached quickly, or tolerate bad behavior because they don't want to lose someone. But she is different. She doesn't bend her standards just to keep someone in her life. She doesn't chase anyone who disrespects her. She has strong boundaries, and those boundaries make men behave better around her. Men understand this. They cannot manipulate her. They cannot pressure her. They cannot guilt-trip her. They cannot charm her with empty words. And when a man realizes he cannot control a woman, he automatically respects her or fears losing her. What makes her powerful is that she is not afraid of loss. If someone leaves, she lets them go. If someone tries to play games, she steps back. If someone tries to control her, she cuts off the connection. This emotional freedom makes her rare because most people act out of fear. Fear of being alone, fear of rejection, fear of losing someone. But she doesn't. Her independence makes her unpredictable. Men cannot guess how she will react. They cannot assume she will tolerate disrespect. They cannot assume she will forgive easily. She is not the type to stay in a toxic situation just to try harder. Instead, she protects her peace above all else. And this creates a natural sense of respect. Men follow stronger rules when dealing with her. They speak more politely. They avoid acting immature. They think before lying. They control their ego. They become more disciplined, not because she orders them to, but because they know she won't accept anything less. Men respect women who respect themselves. She respects herself so much that she never accepts half love, half effort, or half respect. She demands full honesty, full responsibility, and full maturity through her behavior, not her words. She doesn't scream her boundaries. She lives with them. And here is the truth. People value what they might lose. They respect what they cannot dominate. They admire what they cannot easily win. Men feel all of that with her. She isn't a puzzle they can solve. She is a mirror that reflects their true selves. Men who try to control her quickly realize they will only end up controlling themselves, trying to match her standards. Men who try to manipulate her end up exposed. Men who try to impress her end up improving themselves. In the end, men respect her because they know she is not someone they can own, only someone they can honor. She is not controlling men. She is simply uncontrollable. And that alone makes every man treat her with a level of respect they don't give to most people. That is why all men get bossed by her, without her raising her voice, without her demanding anything, and without her trying to show power. Her power is natural, and men know it. Point number 5. She leads without trying. One of the most surprising reasons all men get bossed by her is this. She leads without even trying. She never forces her power. She never demands control. She never tells anyone, "Follow me." But somehow, without speaking loudly or acting aggressively, people naturally follow her direction. This is the quiet strength that truly scares insecure men and impresses strong men. Her leadership comes from her behavior, not her words. She doesn't need to dominate, argue, or show power. Her lifestyle itself sets a standard. She lives with discipline. She makes smart decisions. She values peace, not chaos. She focuses on growth, not gossip. She minds her own business and stays in her own lane. This alone shows people that she is someone worth respecting. Men become careful around her because she carries herself with dignity. Her posture, her eye contact, her calm expression, everything about her shows self-control. And self-control is rare. Men who usually act wild or careless around others suddenly act responsible around her. They sit straighter. They talk more respectfully. They watch their words. They don't even know why, they just do. She doesn't lead by controlling others. She leads by controlling herself. When she is in a relationship, she doesn't need to boss a man around. Her presence inspires him to be better. She motivates him without forcing him. She encourages growth without demanding it. Men naturally want to impress her because they don't want to lose a woman who is this calm, confident, and self-respecting. She makes men try harder, not because she asks them to, but because being around her makes them feel like they should rise higher. Another reason she leads without trying is her emotional intelligence. She understands people. She listens deeply. She knows when someone is stressed, tired, angry, or sad, even if they don't say it. Her ability to understand emotions gives her an advantage that loud, aggressive people will never have. She doesn't push people. She guides them gently. When she speaks, people listen. Not because she is loud, but because her words carry weight. She talks only when needed, so her voice always feels important. She doesn't give random opinions. She gives meaningful thoughts. She doesn't argue for dominance. She explains for clarity. People follow her advice because it comes from wisdom, not ego. Her values also make her a natural leader. She is honest. She is consistent. She is loyal. She is disciplined. People trust leaders who are stable, and she is extremely stable. She doesn't switch moods every minute. She doesn't make decisions out of anger. She doesn't react emotionally just to prove a point. She stays calm in situations where others panic. This calmness is what makes her powerful. She doesn't try to boss men around, yet they feel guided by her presence. They respect her standards. They admire her discipline. They follow her emotional maturity. Even the strongest men feel a natural pull toward her leadership. And that is the true definition of power. When people follow you without you ever asking. This is why all men get bossed by her. She doesn't rule them, she elevates them. She leads without trying. And that makes her unstoppable. So next time you see a woman who doesn't talk much, who doesn't chase anyone, who demands nothing but gives everything, just know this: she is the woman all men get bossed by. These are Stoic albums, and if you felt this truth, hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more powerful psychology videos.